if you're watching this segment later, it's coming from a live stream. We're live Monday through Thursday at 2 p.m. Eastern, and then on Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern. There's a lot of hullabaloo about this show called Euphoria, which I've never seen. But if you search up anything about it, like on X or whatever, it's basically like prawn. It's basically and this kind of goes back to like, do I think Game of Thrones was improved or made? Do I think like all those type of scenes on Game of Thrones made that show any better? I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. Maybe there's like a thing with people that really kind of, I don't know, that drives it home for them or something like that. So there's this controversy over Sydney Sweeney basically doing like fetish content on this show called Euphoria. And I don't want to show that. That's gross. But like, there we go again. But is TV just kind of becoming, is this the only way that shows can really be a thing now? Like, is if they have this kind of stuff in the shows? I think
what we really lack good writing and just good shows in general. And so they're resorting to these like cheap tactics of like, okay, they just keep getting more gratuitous. They keep getting more perverted. Then they're going to get some cheap views that way. And it's like, instead of just having good writers, good content, good stories, this is what we're left with. And it's sad because I believe a lot of the audience for this is young people, like maybe even like teenagers. I don't know exactly, but at the very least,
I have a friend of mine that
young
watches
adults.
it, and the only thing he's ever said is, "Oh, you see Sydney Sweeney, right, you see her body."
And so
that's all I've ever known about it.
It's very graphic, very gratuitous, and the target audience is very young. So it's really messed up. I don't like that. Yeah,
it was set in, I don't know if this current season is, but like the first couple seasons were set when they were in high school, right? That's what I remember.
I think so. I think they're supposed to be teenagers. That's what makes it worse.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It is like a shock value show, I think. And I know it's got a reputation for being, very explicit.
Yeah.
This, I've never seen any of them, but I do know that this like scene where Sydney Sweeney is dressed like a dog or whatever, apparently she's wearing her own company's lingerie, which is like
genius,
kind of funny.
Everyone's trying to dunk on her too. She's making $1 million an episode.
And she has like branch off of this show. Like I remember hearing about the show a couple years ago because Zendaya was on it, and Zendaya's been like kind of a little, starlet. She's done a lot of stuff for a little while, but it seems like the actual breakout star is Sydney Sweeney, because I don't know if she did work before this. I just know there was Euphoria, and then I started seeing her everywhere.
I think they do. I think there's at least rumors saying that that's the case. Like when they go to these little award ceremonies and stuff together, they don't talk to each other. Yeah. So,
I mean, but do you like, I don't know, does that seem, I think sometimes it's like they're coworkers, right? Like what if you're not best friends with if you work in a big office with like 100 people? I don't know. I think Euphoria in particular is kind of egregious because it's like, so all I ever hear about it is that it's like just very graphic and stuff, and like half the people are always on drugs, and like, it's I think, people are like, is this what the high schoolers think is happening in the world? But to Melanie's point, like, is it marketed to kids, or is it marketed to like adults who are sort of looking back like at high school days?
Yeah.
It's hard to explain. I don't know. I just know that like people, every time a season of Euphoria comes out, it's always like scandal, shocking. And it's like, this seems like it happens every time this series comes out. Every season, they're like, can you believe? It's like, we're on the third one. Like, I don't know.
They're setting themselves up that they have to get more and more shocking every new season.
True.
And so then it just becomes more and more perverted. And it's like, this is what's being put out into the world. And it's gross.
I mean, do you think that, I feel like maybe I'm wrong. Well, no, I'm definitely not wrong, because when I was growing up, like popular shows were like, I mean, even on HBO, were like maybe The Sopranos. I don't know if there was a lot of gratuitous like bedroom stuff in The Sopranos. I suspect there may have been some, but it feels like it's like just a part of everything now. And maybe I'm just being old man yells at cloud, but I find myself now when it's a part of these shows, like I even mentioned, okay, so I watched that movie, the Housemaid or whatever, which had Sydney Sweeney in it. And of course, there's like gratuitous scenes in it. And it's like, it did not improve the movie at all to me. I almost feel myself like checking out.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like I'm more like checking out of this stuff when I see it. And if it becomes like too much, I'm kind of like, that's really what kind of happened with Game of Thrones. I was like, okay, how many times do I need to see Khaleesi naked? Like, is this improving the show for me? No.
I thought Game of Thrones was weird. I didn't really watch it, but there was like a young actress who was like 12 or 13 when it started, and then in the end season, she had to like film a sex scene, right? Because she was like an adult by that point. Because it went on for so long. I remember reading the stuff. She was like, "Yeah, it was weird because like all of the crew that's there I've known since I was a kid." And I was like, "Oh man,
goodness,
like
that's
a necessary experience for anybody." Probably not.
I'm as our resident TikTok expert, I see,
responded.
Yeah, thank you. Inform us, please.
I see people make videos about it, like the younger generations, Gen Z, and all that, who are saying like, we're sick of this. We're sick of getting sexual content thrown in our face constantly. I don't want to be bombarded with this stuff. Can they just like have a scene fade to black and we know what happens? Like, why is this constantly being thrown in our faces? And so I think a lot of people are uncomfortable with it. So even among younger generations.
And does that mean that Euphoria is not for Gen Z? It's actually for millennials? I read this study, or I came across this statistic recently, and it's in the video I put out this week, that Gen Z, like, I think it's like 20% of them have friends that have had a one-night stand. But compared to 2 decades earlier, like early 2000s millennials, that number was like up to 70%. So there's a huge difference in the way that they're behaving. So then I would assume, to your point, that like maybe they don't want to see this. Maybe this is like an intentional opt-out. Maybe their behaviors and their experience with all of this is different, and content is behind in some way.
Yeah, I mean, I did read something about even like Gen Z is now reverting to like older technology. They want like old iPods and stuff like that.
Yes, they are doing that.
Digital cameras. And I think that like Coomer brain is something that, again, I know this put Melanie in dangerous water here, but like, I'm not saying, I know Melanie will disagree with me and say it doesn't exist, but like, or doesn't need it. But like, I don't think video games that have this kind of stuff in it, I don't think it makes them any better. I've never played a game like, would Final Fantasy VII be a better game if there was like an explicit scene between Cloud and like Tifa? No. Like, I don't think, like, now when you're a show like Euphoria though, or actually, when I really started noticing it, and I used to watch this show with my wife called, oh my God. It was like some vampire show with Sookie Stackhouse was the name of the character, Blood something. It took place in like Louisiana. It was a very popular set of books.
Okay.
And like, after a while, I was like, look, I've seen her boobs enough. And then like, later in the seasons, there was like a scene where like one of the men on the show, like True Blood. Yes, thank you. Like her brother was like, basically, I don't want to be too graphic, but like basically he was like being bred. He was like locked down and being bred by like these other, and that was the last episode I ever watched. I was like, dude, what in the hell? Like,
wow.
I think that like, some of these shows only exist because they're smut. Like that is what they actually bring to the table. Like, what was True Blood? It was basically a soap opera with boobs. It was never really like this great show. And kind of once I've seen her boobs enough gay. Well, I'm just like, well, what's going on with this storyline? What's going on with that storyline? And, the show is obviously very popular with women too. So like, are women into this stuff? I think women are obviously into the spicy scenes.
There are a women gooners and stuff because they make gooner games specifically for women. Also, look at the books.
50 Shades of Grey, like that, you know, like
Yeah.
all-time terrible movie that still made, I don't know what it did at the box office, but it obviously crushed. Or Magic Mike, right? Like
Exactly. Yeah.
very, very, very obviously like pornography.
It is. It straight up is. So there's a lot of degenerate women as well, and they support a lot of this stuff. And I mean, that's who mostly is watching Euphoria right now. So
Yeah, I guess it must be a woman's show. I've never seen it. I've only seen clips of it, and they're always porn.
yeah.
Like it's always like, oh, he's Sydney Sweeney in Euphoria, and it's like here she is doing fetish content as a baby with a pacifier, and then like
Yeah.
Megyn Kelly's like, oh my god, this is out of control, blah blah blah, and I'm like, but that's the only reason the show exists is because it's just a vehicle to sell degeneracy. It's I don't know I don't even know what the plot line of the show is. Maybe
Yeah, I
somebody
don't
that watches it-
either. Yeah.
Yeah, like I don't know, but I think we're going to see a snapback, though. I really do. Like I think we're going to see a snapback. According porn equals porn over real narratives. I'm not saying there aren't a good movie or two that have had like, you know, a titty in it or whatever, but I will say that I have not seen any that I'm like that made the movie better. You know, like I guess when I was younger, maybe when I was younger. Maybe. I don't know. We'll wrap that up. If you enjoyed this segment, I would like to hear your comments in the comment section down below. We are live Monday through Thursdays at 2 p.m. Eastern and Fridays at 1 p.m. Eastern. Wherever you're watching this clip,